and we're recording now. Nice to meet you, Tyler.
Nice to meet you, Tony.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I really discovered you through your YouTube channel because I cannot remember what exactly I was looking for, but a tutorial of yours came up. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
I remember you said to me before it is about how to not overthink your mix. Is
yes.
that video?
Yeah, I think it was that video.
Yeah.
Very nice to have you here. Do you want to give like a quick introduction about yourself for the listeners?
Yeah, for sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler. I'm a lo-fi and ambient music producer and also content creator. And I'm originally from Hong Kong, but now I'm based in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, we will get back to this about the moving, because for me it's super fascinating, you know, when people like moving from their original country into a new one. That's always super interesting stories, you know, the difference and all of that. I would say for the beginning, let me now quickly play your song so the listeners know what kind of music you are producing and in which direction it will go. And then we will hop back on all the nice topics.
Yeah.
Okay, this song is called On My Way, and it's Tyler.l is the artist name, but I will have it in the description for the listeners. Actually funny that we started with the video about not overthink your mix. This mix is so clean. It's all really well fitted together. And as I see in the short video in the canvas on Spotify, you played the guitar part to yourself, right?
Yeah. All the instrument produced by myself.
Okay, interesting. So, yeah, I saw in your videos you can play the piano, you play guitar. What instruments can you all play?
Maybe drums, but I don't have the drum set right here. But I learned the class. My first time is learn classical guitar when I was young, so many years ago. Yeah, and then I start playing piano and also drums. Just learned a little bit, something like the basic element.
And I guess your neighbors are super happy that you don't have a drum set in your studio.
Yeah, I can't do that in Hong Kong. You know, our living place is super small, so we can't do that.
Yeah, but I guess the same is in the UK as well. I would.
But already bigger than Hong Kong's a lot.
Yeah, no, I meant the part with the neighbors when you're playing the drums inside your flat, you know. You have your studio at home, right? As I do. Or do you have
just
a separate?
In my not separate, just in my living room.
Interesting.
Yeah, just a little part of the studio.
But that's also like the general lo-fi producer concept of having like a bedroom studio, and you
Yeah,
don't really
exactly.
need much more.
Indeed.
It wouldn't be that authentic as well if you're like in this super big professional studio making lo-fi beats. That doesn't make sense at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. But also that is my dream or goal too, because one day I want to work with vocal singer. So that is my goal. I really want to have a big fancy studio.
Okay,
And
yeah.
also, I love gear.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love buy
I could
gear.
see that in the videos.
Yeah.
And actually, if you have the talent to actually use that gear,
Yeah.
that's such a bonus because I love gear too, but I cannot play any instrument. I tried to learn the
Oh.
guitar. I can play like super basic songs, but that's it.
Oh. But in my experience, I will think you don't need to actually can play it very well, but just when you're producing, when you listen to the song and just find some simple notes in your guitar, and then just like chop it up and rearrange it, then you will create something unique. Then someone actually can play, because sometimes the melody in my head, and maybe you can recreate some melody is not basically you can play it on the guitar. You know what I mean?
Yes, this is what I'm doing with the piano now. I learned like the basics of the piano, and you're using Logic as well, right? It's so good to see when you're playing like a bunch of notes. You can see on the top window written what chord are you playing, so oh, I'm playing now
Yeah,
a
yeah,
D
yeah.
minor, and then okay, this is a correct chord. I played
Yeah,
it right.
exactly.
If there's like a B6, some symbols 8 9 whatever, then I know, okay, that's a weird chord. I should probably press other buttons.
Yeah. I always use this function. It's quite good.
This is amazing for learning the piano, and I started like half a year ago. I want to get away from only using MIDI and samples and actually really play my own music. It was a big game changer to have this function.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you can just use your ears to figure out what sounds is good, and then you can actually know about what is that chord is.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, let's go back to this moving from Hong Kong to the UK. Um, did you move to the UK with your whole family or by yourself? What's the story behind that? I'm so curious to hear that.
This is a super long story.
We have
Can I
time.
tell? Can I start with why will I become a lo-fi producer? Because this is also a long story. Before I moved right
Okay,
here.
then let's start with this.
So in a few years ago, I have a very serious health problem. It is asthma. I have a very serious full body asthma that I can't go out to work. That means I don't have any job for so many years already. So at that moment, I will think, how can I make money just from home, But basically, I didn't produce music before I get started.
Oh, okay.
I only learned the instrument. I only learned the piano, guitar, and drums, and also just a few lessons with producing. So at that moment, I just looking to watching some like YouTube video, and then I remember it is from Sanjay C video, and he talked about you can release music to Spotify. Because at that moment, I don't know everything. You can release music to Spotify. In my opinion, it is just a big artist from the label or the world can release music to Spotify.
Yeah.
So, and that moment just blow my mind. And then I would think, oh, how about I can use this to gain some just little money, but I can still produce at home or just recover my health. So in that moment, I bought a lo-fi course. And then just after that course, I just making 2 or 3 tracks. And then I tell myself, okay, I need to release it right now. So at that moment, I released my first song called Little Space. Yeah, but that song is also performing very well because that title of Little Space is just hit a trend on TikTok.
Oh.
Some people using that song and using my song.
Your first song that you released went viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's like winning the lottery as a music producer. I mean, people are making hundreds of songs that don't get any attention. This is fantastic.
Yeah. And the funnest thing is I can't use TikTok in Hong Kong.
No? Why
so
not?
I didn't produce my music on TikTok. It is just the people searching the name and then use my song.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So now the song is already past the 100K. Yeah. But I didn't do any promotion.
100K used in TikTok or 100K streams in Spotify?
In Spotify.
Okay. And do you know how many TikToks were created with that song in the background? That would be interesting.
We can check it. Check it. I can check it.
Because that would be super interesting, you know? Because like the super viral songs are used like millions of times in like every TikTok.
Used by 265 video.
Okay, but that's a really great
conversion.
Conversion,
right?
Yeah. From like a little bit below 300 videos used to 100,000 streams. That's a really crazy ratio. Oh my God. It had to be someone super famous who discovered your song and put it on their TikTok.
But I when I analyzed how can I get this stream, it is because I have a few big playlists added this song into it. So the stream going, looping, something like that.
Crazy.
And until today, still have a lot of people listen to this track.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, my congratulations on this. It was like the perfect timing for you also, I would say.
Yeah.
In this, let's say, difficult situation that you were in, having such a good boost in the success from beginning, I guess that was, I bet that was like emotionally super helpful, right? That it took like some weight off your shoulders. We would say in German. I don't know if you have that saying in English. We say, I just translated it.
Okay. Something like release a bit.
Yeah, that it releases a bit of the stress, right?
Yeah. So in that moment, I really focus on my everything just in music. And then I don't think about how tough, how stress, of my health. But but now when I listen back to that song, I think it is not good producing.
Yeah, but that's normal. That's normal. I mean, every time you listen back to your like first 10 songs, it's always like, this is trash. But
Yeah, exactly.
the thing is, the people that are enjoying this song are like 95% of the people listening to that are not music producers. They do not care about details like, is the snare like 2 decibel too loud, or the listeners do not care that much. I would say for the listeners, just important, is the vibe right? How does it make me feel? And I mean, lo-fi and chill music in general is here to help people relax or focus or just relief from stress and everything. And I don't think that someone is like analyzing this as an expert, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then how did the story continue with your musical journey?
So after that, I built up my confidence. Something like, I actually can use music to earn some money, even though it is not a big money at the beginning. But I can see this is a passive income, because when I accumulate more track, and then my monthly income may be increasing. So I started super focused on creating music, like every week at least one track. Until right now, I produced almost 4 years, and then I just release every single track for Friday. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
And did you had like another hit like that?
You
know,
mean
like
go viral?
Yeah, exactly.
After that, I don't have any songs like this, but I have another way is I release with the label, and then some go viral. It is because of the editorial playlist.
Okay.
So I have one song over 2 million stream on Spotify. Yeah, because that song just put into the lo-fi sleep playlist for almost over 2 to 3 years, that song. So it generate over 2 million streams.
Yeah, I was always asking myself, because I could not do it, get into an editorial playlist, but I was always asking myself, is this song then on the playlist for a month or for 2 months, or how long will it stay on the playlist? But if you say like 2-3 years, that's...
It is because at that moment, Spotify didn't upload the playlist.
Okay.
So this is also a luck.
Yeah.
That they put the songs so long, but now they already remove it.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Because they started to update the playlist right now.
Yes, and I heard that a lot of the I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that like a lot of the curated playlists are now curated not more by humans but now by AI, and that's kind of crazy to think about. And
yeah,
I heard that from like so many sources, so it's kind of concerning. But yeah, I kind of try not to focus too much on editorials when it comes to releasing music. I mean, you release a lot with labels, right? So the label will do the whole pitching for the song.
Yeah. Depends on some label didn't do it. Some label will do it for you.
Yeah. I released like 50% of my tracks with labels as well. But then I kind of realized that a lot will do not really much for you. So I kind of stopped.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I kind of stopped searching for labels to release your music because it's so easy to self-release or self-pitch the songs.
But the 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 great things released with label it is if they have a great playlist.
Yes.
So, but if we release independently, we need to take more time to promote and make more video and something like that.
This is true. And that's why I heard that from other artists that they do that, and I started to do it myself. I have now daily, not like a big budget, but like a small budget that just daily promotes my playlist on Instagram, like every day. And I would say after 2 months, I will like change the targeted audience so that it moves like a bit into another direction and kind of shows to new people, hey, check out this playlist. And
you mean he posts every day?
No, I set up like 5 videos for advertisement with different
advertisement.
with different audiences, and then I kept the 2 that are working really good. And since then, like my playlist isn't that big yet. I just started with that, but it's round about 1,000 and continuing to grow every day. And I have a small budget of like $5 a day. But I can imagine when running this for a year or 2 and then slowly increase the budget because some people know the playlist now and listen to it. And then new people will come on top and then even more and more and more. That's what I think is the kind of the laziest and easiest way to promote your own music. Because you don't have to do a lot. Otherwise I would have like no time to do the podcast, and I enjoy like just hanging out, talking with other producers, learning new stuff. Interesting.
So did you calculate is it can recover the cost from the royalty?
Not yet.
This is what I concern because I think for the promoting a playlist, you need to keep investing.
Yes.
When one day you didn't invest, maybe people will be find another playlist to listen to it. Yeah, I heard a lot of the playlists from the label when they cut the cost of promoting the playlist, the listener will be dropped down.
Yes, I know, and this is exactly what I will like not stop the ad for the next I don't know how many years. But what I will do is I saw like an increase in streams and also like the payout that I get every month from Dashco. I just everything that comes more in, because now the base costs is like $200 that I pay every month from my salary, and I'm totally cool with that investing in this playlist. But everything that comes now in through the streams, I will do other ads for the same playlist and just keep pushing it like on multiple levels. That's kind of my idea behind that.
And also, one day when your playlist grow big, you can become a label.
Exactly. It's right now it's for me too much stress, and because I have to do the job just to keep financing the music and the playlist ads and everything. But also, if creating a label, I set up this one rule for myself. Because when I started releasing the first lo-fi beats, I just went to Night Cafe and created some AI art for the artwork. And from this year, or like December, November, it was last year, I said I will not use any instance of AI, not in the artwork, not in the production. I never used it, but not in the artwork, you know. Um, because for me, I now when I go to the release radar, and my Spotify is all lo-fi. If I listen to other type of music, I use YouTube, but for lo-fi, I only use Spotify just to have the algorithm trained to get, like, you know, inspiration from different artists as well. But when I see AI generated art in the artwork, I skip the track. It can be a banger track, I skip it because I kind of tired to see that, you know. And this is also something that I see on a lot of independent labels right now, because you can say every day there is a new label created. And this is also something that I now pitching to labels that I put in my consideration. If they are like lazy and use AI art, they are lazy promoting as well. Because you do the real work on every little step. Or you just try to make it as easy as possible for you, and then just I mean, it's so easy to make a lot of money as a label. You just get to sign like 1,000 artists that will give you like hundreds of songs each month. And even if you make like $5 from the per artist, that's like $500 per song that they are sending to you, because you take 50%. And then you just let the artist do the promotion and you just cash out the 50%. And this is, in my opinion, not how a label should function. And there are many good ones, really good ones, that have sick artworks, have big playlists. But that's kind of going hand in hand, right? I mean, are the labels that you released your music with big playlists, are they using AI art, or like having a creator who makes nice artworks for the songs? How is that? Have you seen something?
Because my most streamed song is for a few years ago. So a few years ago didn't have AI art. You know, it is just 1 or 2 years they have so many AI arts. So the most streamed one, it is not from AI art.
Yeah, but I think you released with like bigger labels than I did, and you have released with labels that use that have their own big playlists, right? And how is the? I just want to kind of connecting the dots, you know. How is the synergy of that? Are the labels with the big playlists, are they still using like real art for the playlist cover, let's say, for the song cover that you release with them?
I think a lot already shift to AI art.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you know what I realized in my own music, since only in the last two months now that I completely quit using AI art, my monthly listeners doubled from 20,000 monthly listeners to like 41, 42 is it right now. Just
That's
because
crazy.
all the new tracks are, it's not like super hard to make them. I take some free pictures of pixels, royalty free, and then I put different effects, making nice layer, using some cool font and everything. It's not a lot of work, you know. I mean, it doesn't take me much more time than spending money on credits and create like 10 different AI pictures and choose one. Because I choose a picture that I like, you know, from the nature mostly, put on some nice effects with Canva, and this also got more radio plays from the Spotify algorithm and everything. That's kind of crazy. And I'm just kind of interested, like Sherlock Holmes, trying to figure out if there is a connection between that.
But it is funny because Spotify playlist now adding a lot of AI.
Yes.
AI artists, but they push your non-AI cover art.
Yeah, but radio is not editorial. And the thing is, there's this other. It's not really a conspiracy theory because it's 100% true. Spotify have their own AI model creating songs that they put in their own editorial playlist, so they get all the money from the streams back into their own pocket.
Yeah,
They made a money pressing machine with that. I mean, let's say you are Spotify and you have playlists with millions of listeners. And then you can just okay, let's take an AI. This AI makes music, and we just don't tell that it's us. And they make money through all the listeners who pay subscription for Spotify and just take it in their own pocket by pushing their own music. And it's kind of hard, with this instrumental sound, especially lo-fi. It's not like you can take a voice from a famous musician and make an AI cover of that. You can instantly hear that, and I guess the lawyers of this artist will sue you if doing that. But with instrumental, I think they found a niche that is getting bigger and bigger because more and more people tend to listen to chill beats because life gets stressful and busy and everything, and so they kind of just take advantage of this.
Yeah,
that's super crazy.
Yeah, I feel like it is. That is why I think we need to put more personality into our music. So people, when there is true friends, they can listen that still produced by you, not AI. Because I have a lot of student, because I do a lot of one-on-one, and they told me they can notice that song is produced by me because they feel like the melody, the vibe is totally different between other artists or other songs, something like that.
Yes, and it's so important to have your personal note on that. It's like your audio branding only by the way you choose your plugins. I saw in the video you're using the Raum for reverb by Native Instrument.
Oh, Raum, yeah. I really like this one.
It's actually, Raum is the German word for room. The room, like the space.
Room. Oh, room. Oh,
yeah, like the room. And the Raum is the German word for that.
And
I really...
So that is... Native Instrument is German company, right?
I don't know if that's a German company. Just as... it's so funny because it's like the room, like the reverb, and it's just the German word for the plugin. And I love it. It's so amazing. I use it since years already as well. And it's free.
I almost use it all the time.
Yeah.
This one. You can see every track and just using this one.
Yeah, that's why I found that so funny and instantly DM'd you on Instagram when saw your video.
Yeah.
And only by using this type of reverb that sounds different than, let's say, another reverb, it creates a little bit like one puzzle piece of your unique style. Then you choose a compressor that you use for all the elements. That's another puzzle piece also the way if you're constantly going for a lot of reverb with the DAW and always use like 40% till 50%, that's different than other using the same plugin but only take like 12% wet and all that stuff. All the small details create your own personality over time
Yeah.
when making like hundreds of tracks. And yeah, when you can write your own melodies, this is also like this is like a big puzzle piece that gives
Big
you
bonus, right?
yeah
Yeah.
that gets this recognizable.
I really enjoy because I love to express my feelings. So I told you before I have some health issue. I think music it is my only way can express my feelings. So every time I make every track, I love to play the melody instead of just write the melody because I will feel like I can express my feeling at that moment into a melody.
Yes, and I'm really happy for you that you found this this way, because now you're doing your coachings, you release music, and you really found a way to enjoy do what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And kind of you focus. Your focus is now on music, your students, the production, and this is so important. Let's say everyone can get into the situation where health gets bad. Sorry.
No worries.
And yeah, that's so important, I guess, for everyone listening to this podcast. Even if you have like a hard phase in life, to kind of focus on something that is good and focus on something that really brings pleasure back. I mean, now question to you: how did it change? You know, from the beginning when you got the diagnosis to where you are now, because now you found your passion, now you found your profession, you know. How was the change, let's say, mentally? Is it now easy and you think like, okay, yeah, I have this issue, but I'm cool with it? And how was that in the beginning?
I think music helped me to release a bit of myself because at that moment I will feel like I can't do anything. I can't go out to a job and I keep going to see the doctor every week, twice a week. And I feel like I'm nothing, you know, I can't do anything just right at home. But music has helped me to it is the only way that I can focus right now. So I put all my energy at that moment, and then my emotion, my feelings start become better and better. So after like I have the treatment like so many years, like 5 to 6 years, and then I fully recovered.
Okay.
That is why I want to change my environment. I don't want to live in Hong Kong again because that weather, the environment will be affect asthma.
Yes.
It is the main problem. So that is why I want to move another like country for I want a new start, you know, because I can't do anything before, but music like just bring me a hope that I'm restart my life again. So and also I think UK will be better for me in the music industry because we have the same time zone. I can connect with a lot of people because when I'm in Hong Kong, the time zone maybe it is just a reverse time zone.
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
know?
know I totally know
So
what you
I
mean. Yeah.
can't sleep. So that is the main reason I want to move it right here.
And how is it? How long are you now in the UK?
It's just 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And you already found new friends and everything is fine? Are you happy in the UK?
I'm happy right here. I love the environment, the culture, but it is just the weather is not very good.
Yes.
Because always is very cloudy, no sunlight, you know.
And you have to go outside with the umbrella every day.
Yeah,
It rains a lot in the UK.
I think it is similar with Germany, right?
It is.
German.
It is. But I live in Switzerland. We also have like this gray days a lot as well. But we also have a lot of really good days. And way more nature, a lot of mountains and everything.
But this is also better than Hong Kong already, because Hong Kong very cloudy, so many people, and the living place is so small, and so many people in the street, and we don't have a lot of nature. You need to go far away to find a nature. But now in the UK, maybe more like the park and big park, more space for me, I think.
And are you living like in a bigger city or more in a village?
I'm in Manchester.
Oh, you're in Manchester?
Yeah.
That's cool. I like Manchester. I was already 3 times in the UK. And the city right next to Manchester, Liverpool, is like my favorite city.
Liverpool. I've been one time, go there. And just travel one day.
It's such a big history, of music. With like the Beatles. Even I'm not a big fan of Beatles, but just like I don't have like other artists in my head right now, but they made a lot of really good artists in Liverpool.
Yeah.
It was.
I think Beatles, it is not our century, right?
No. But it's like this band that from Liverpool. Yeah. It's like everywhere in every second bar. There's like pictures of the Beatles, how they hanged out in the bar and everything.
Did you go to the Beatles museum?
No.
No, I didn't. I just walked through. I walked through the museum.
When I was in Liverpool, I was like first time in the age of 17 and second time in the age of like 19 or something. And I was just there for partying. I went to the different clubs, listened to some music, and did like party every day. That's so cool. In Liverpool, you can go every day to another club because some clubs are open on Monday and then the others open on Tuesday. Because there are so many students, they do that. And it's cheap.
I'm not really interested in going club.
That was like my youth. Now I'm going like out maybe twice a year for partying. And that's it.
Yeah.
Got way too old.
Yeah, too old, you don't like it. And it is because I can't drink alcohol because it will be affect of my health.
Yeah.
So I'm not interested in like clubbing and anything.
Yeah, I also kind of stopped drinking, maybe on like, birthdays or something, but I'm really addicted to like this little syrup things. They have like, they are syrup because they are zero. You can just put it in water and get some taste, and I got so addicted to them.
But this is also so sweet.
It's not that sweet. It's just like more, it got like this extra taste to the water because I drink around 4 liters of water every day. And the first 2 liters of like plain water is easy. But the other 2 liters that I have to drink, I have kind of to help myself get through that.
Okay.
Because I have also my medical condition, and I don't know if it's like combined with the medication, but I'm thirsty all the time. And like the whole
Thirsty is what?
if you want to drink, like with the dry mouth and everything, I kind of
Oh,
constantly I think about, I need to drink some water. It's probably because of the
oh.
medication. But yeah.
My medication is I using like Chinese medication. So the drink is a soup of the medicine.
Oh, interesting. With
Yeah,
like
not is
herbs.
the pure.
Is it like a mixture of different herbs?
Yes, the Chinese herbs, and then they already make it like a bowl of. They are make it like a, how can I say that?
Like a tea or?
Something like that. You need to put some hot water and melt it into like a soup and just drink it.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the traditional Chinese medicine.
Really?
Yeah. I go like if I have like some heavier issues, I always try to get first to we have a lot of TCM places here where you can go and check up, for acupuncture or like herb medicine stuff. And I can always prefer that to the Western medicine, because I already had so many wrong diagnoses in my life. It was already 10 years ago where I was at work, and then I got like blackout. I was on the ladder, got blackout. Luckily, didn't fall down the ladder. And then I went to the doctor, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we send you to the specialists." Then I went to a specialist, and I was very young then. My parents had to like pay 3,000 Swiss francs for the specialist to make some tests. I were there like 3 hours, make different tests, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you have this." They said that I had like also asthma, but the one that you get when you're getting exhausted when you're doing sport and stuff, right? And after like 3 hours of tests, and I was like, that's weird. I'm now 18. I never had it. And now you say I have it. And then I went to this acupuncture center. And the doctor there was like, it was so fascinating to me. He was like, "Show me your tongue." And I'm like,
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, no, that's not asthma." And then he started like writing, and he wrote like a big page of different herbs, and I took them like for 3 months, never got any issues with that again. It was like cured.
Yeah,
and it costed me
super
like
powerful.
Yeah, and it costed me like just like a little bit of the money that I spent for this expert who gave me a wrong diagnosis,
Mm.
And from that moment on, I always try to visit the TCM
Chinese.
first.
That is interesting.
But with this issue that I had like since last year, that's why I'm always thirsty and want to drink a lot of water, it was the opposite way. Because I tried it with traditional Chinese medicine, but then the doctor there said like, "Hey, I really cannot say what it is. You have to get some blood testing and this and that." And they found out it's hyperidism. I don't know how to say that word right. But if the sphincter here in the pulse produces way too much hormones.
Oh.
And now I have to like
in the neck.
Yeah, like here you have this thing that is producing hormones.
I think I know what is this.
Yeah.
Very normal.
Yeah, exactly. And but I had like an overproduction of this hormones, and then I lost like weight. I could not do music in that time where it was not diagnosed, because it went like half a year without a diagnosis. I lost like 20 kilograms. That was a good side effect, but I could really like not focus. I could like not concentrate. I tried to make some music and everything sounded bad. That was so crazy. It messed with my whole system. And then, yeah, that was like the case where it was opposite. And from the Chinese medicine, I went to the normal one.
So did the Western doctor can help you?
Yeah. Now I have to take pills every day. That only it does only regulate, that the hormones are in the right amount, and it's only like I understood the doctor for like 1 year, and then I'm off the medication. Then we will just see if it's come back. Then we have to start again. If not, then it's good.
But my case is not asthma, it's asthma. It is like the skin is very itchy and they got something like that. It is from my head until my foot. Every skin is like broken.
Okay, sorry, then I didn't understand that right. I thought it was asthma, but
it's so similar pronouns.
It's funny because we both struggle a bit with English. But I guess that's a good point to just like practice it.
Yeah, exactly. Good practicing.
And that's a super interesting story of yours. And do you have like now set up new goals or for the future with music or with your students and all the work that you do as a content creator? Do you have some big plans that you can share?
Yeah, sure. I'm very grateful right now because I'm started building my music career still so stable to growing because when I moved to the UK, I can't find any job because I lost so many years of the working experience. So I just tell myself, no worries, I can do it by my own. Like I will build up my music career. In that moment, I started to create making YouTube video. And so in this year, my target is I want to make a very stable income all from my music, like the course, like my brand deals, royalty, something like that to build a stable income. This year my
to have
goal.
Enough multiple income streams like with YouTube, exactly. Courses, streaming to have a good living. That's super fascinating.
This is my goal.
This is very fascinating.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best to really achieve that.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I'm super grateful because everything I built by myself, and also this business just start like 4 years, and the first 1 to 2 years I only releasing music, and I think sometimes you need to step by step to reach your goal because we can't do everything in one time, right? So at the beginning, I'm just start releasing music, and then after that, I try another genre. It is I expanded to the ambient side of music that I really like because I love something related to the space.
Yes.
So I create so many spacey ambient, something like that. And after that, I want to push my career to more further. So I started create YouTube video, And then now I got some brand deals and got students, and I can sell my own sample pack. So I think this is, you need to create your path step by step in just a small step, and then you finally can reach your goal.
Yes, yes. And it's also important to, if you're close to your goal, to set it up higher, because otherwise you end up at the goal and then what I'm doing now.
Yeah, you are so disappointed.
And it's funny because I wanted to switch to that ambience topic as well.
Yeah,
So you did that.
nice.
You did a perfect transition as a DJ. And yeah, also a funny point with the space related ambient sound. You can really see that in your YouTube videos because your room is super spacey with all the lights. I really enjoyed
yeah.
I really enjoyed the whole ambience that you had in the room. That's super cool. And yeah, ambience music is getting kind of a real blow up moment in the past few years. You know, with like especially this dark ambient sound. And it's, for me, it's super fascinating because I discovered it like way too late. You know, I knew it from like TikTok videos because a lot of people are using that. But I never did any research on what is this. And recently I started to put in some ambience playlists when doing stuff in my life. And this is a whole other level of, you know, this aesthetic that also really hits the time that we're living in. That was so crazy also with lo-fi, you know, when lo-fi blew up and it was this whole time with COVID and everything, and you were a lot at home and you didn't really had this much pressure anymore from the life because you had to stay at home and everything. And the aesthetic kind of also, it kind of felt so naturally by listening to lo-fi, and you felt like being in a movie and it was the perfect fitting soundtrack. And for now, it really, for me personally, it switched to this ambience that I can super well resonate with. How was it for you? Did you felt something similar, or have you naturally discovered that already years ago before it become this thing?
So I didn't. I know when I start producing ambient, I know the one half size of the dark ambient, but I'm not really like the dark ambient. I'm just making something like I love spacey one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm just start with the I want to say that is I'm just making something that I like, you know. So and the funnest part is when I'm creating lo-fi music, I'm start with spacey lo-fi. So my first track is something more like spacey lo-fi, not the normal sounds of the lo-fi. So this is because that is what I really like. So in my whole music career, I'm just making something that I like, and I'm not going to fit others, like the labels, fit the playlist, something like that.
Yeah, and I think this is also a super important. If you want to stay consistent with your music career, you cannot just like try to be a copy, because it's maybe fun for a week, but then you will lose motivation so quick just trying to be a copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah.
And it's so important to really find your style.
Mm. So I think it is naturally I'm going to the ambient world. It is because I love the space. So I want to put the space sounds cooperate in the music. This is what I'm coming with. Spacey ambient. Something like that.
Yeah, I
I'm
listen
not
to.
thinking of the trend, something like that. I'm just focusing on what I truly like on what and just combine with music.
Yeah, this is interesting, and this should be exactly like this and not the other way. It's actually the real way of express yourself with art.
Mm-mm.
For me personally, it's like I said before. It's all about the feeling and the vibe that you get from music. For me, that's like the most important thing. Is to create a certain sound space that feels like when you put it on the headphones, that it feels like the soundtrack to the moment where you're living in,
Yeah.
uh, but I'm super open, therefore, to experiment a lot, with yeah, all kind of the same genre. But this is the cool thing about ambient. This is the cool thing about lo-fi. There are no specific rules. You can
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
do whatever you like, what sounds the best to you. It can be a bit more like this. It can be more sleepy. It can be a bit more energetic,
Mm.
chill energetic. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think every music don't have a specific sound. Is it just the society standard? But if you can create something different, and then you will stand out in this industry. This is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, and you have to do that. I mean, by just take a view through the eyes of the listeners or through the ears of the listeners. Let's say when you're listening to music yourself, you don't want to hop on a playlist that everything is kind of sounding the same,
Yeah,
because it's then
exactly.
like fun for 3 songs and then you switch the playlist because it just feels like one long song with different parts.
Yeah.
Interesting. And also, by having this, I mean, you have your favorite sounds in this spacey type. Probably, I don't know, maybe you can get, let's say, movie show that is about space, or a video game
Oh,
that is about
yeah, yeah, yeah.
space, and connect with them to do the soundtracks for them. That would be a great thing, especially if you're really down to this one specific topic. And no matter if you're doing lo-fi or if you're doing ambience, or maybe you will do in the future another genre, let's say something more electronic music style, but still spacey, you will always keep your personal touch on that because it's
Yeah.
what fascinates you.
I want to expand more genre this year because well, just I'm a person don't like to just stay in the comfort zone. I love
Yeah.
to learn more and expand more, but sometimes you need to step by step. You can do. You need to master your basic technique, and then you can going to expand more genre, more different type of music.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
I can fully agree on that.
Yeah. And also, I think the most important part is I'm still thinking make music is super fun
Yeah.
for me. Yeah, so you must keep this passion, keep fun to make music. Then will push you to want to try more different genre, something
Yes,
like that.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's also, yeah, you have to feel pleasure doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is also like one
Because
of the most important things.
a lot of creator will be feel like it is brought on doing so many years. So I think you need to find a way that will trigger you to think making music is still fun. Then you can go a long way.
Exactly. And for this, you have to experiment. For this, you have to step out of your now comfort
Comfort zone.
zone and try out new paths and try out new music styles.
Yeah. So how about you?
Um, about me, I'm now kind of said to myself that I'm not gonna care for this year when making or releasing music about it, does it fit any box or not, but just like to, like you said, just do what you enjoy the most. And really, mm, I set myself as a goal, I do not want to focus like, oh, does it fit here? Does it fit this playlist? Does it fit this label? Does it fit this and that? Just doing what I like. And also, I want to experiment a little bit with ambient soundscapes. But for me, I tried to make an ambient song, but then it was like something's missing, and then I put in some super chill drums to that, and it created that mix of very smooth ambience, you know, with the long pads and everything, but still a super simple beat that kind of keeps you going in this. And it's such a cool mix, and I haven't heard something like that yet. Probably someone else has done something similar, but I haven't heard it yet. And I really want to also take other influences from music that I enjoyed, let's say in my childhood. I grew up with rock music and metal music, and I really want to kind of, and I love doing covers, like doing lo-fi covers. So I want to take like some songs from, let's say, Metallica or Iron Maiden and kind of transform them into lo-fi.
I didn't do any cover songs.
No. Yeah, I haven't done cover songs for a long, long time, like the first 1 or 2 years in lo-fi. I just did originals, and even now it's like 50-50 meanwhile, because I discovered that making covers is so much fun. And I kind of got into this group of producers that are only doing covers and are super focused on that. And I hopped on a collaboration here and there, and it was fun, you know, especially when taking something old, you know, like from your childhood memory. Let's say you pick a game that you used to play, like a video game, and you take your favorite soundtrack from that and just flip it into a lo-fi relaxed beat. It always gives you back this memory, and also kind of put in your personal character, you know, because you felt this a certain way. Let's say 10 years ago let's say 10 years ago you played this video game, and you had this specific mood, or this was going on in your life, what really um, mm, gave you this vibe, this feeling that you felt, and just transform that like 10 years after in your own kind of, it's a cover, it's not your fully own song, but it's still your own touch that you give him. Know what I mean? It's kind of time traveling back and recreate that vibe.
Just super fun to do that.
It's super fun. It's super fun, and I will never like put my main focus on that, because I could not imagine doing only covers, because then it would get boring as well. But from time to time, it's a lot of fun. Let's say from a TV show that you really enjoyed, making like some covers from the soundtrack. It really gives you this nostalgic feeling, and it let you time travel back to the moments you had.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because I never tried to make cover song.
You should. It's really a lot of fun to do that.
Yeah.
I also plan to do like a bigger album within this year, where I want to invite a lot of other artists to be like a collaboration on this 40-song album. I have a friend, Tenoshi, who is doing like this huge Pokemon cover albums. The last one he released like a few weeks ago. Okay, by the moment the podcast goes live, it was like months ago. But with 50 songs and like 40 different collaborators and that, like this huge album. And it's so much fun, because he covered nearly every song from the Pokemon Black and White series. And it really feels like you realize the soundtrack, and oh yeah, that was Route 102, and there I found this Pokemon, and oh, that's the sound of the gym battle. And yeah, it really gives you this journey feeling. And I want to do something similar with, for me, it will be Animal Crossing. The Wild Worlds. It was a game that I spent so many hours on the Nintendo DS when I was a child. And I had like thousands of hours on this game. And I really want to kind of dive back. Instead of replaying the game again, I just take that emotions that I felt that were great and transform it into an album.
Just bring out your memory when you're playing the game when you're young.
Yes, exactly. That's the idea behind that.
That's cool.
And also,
so have you ever think you will collaborate with Eldre, because he's also making a lot of cover songs from the enemy?
Yeah. We haven't. I wish to collaborate with him one day, but that's so funny. Now it's the 22nd February, and tomorrow on Sunday we'll drop his podcast.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, he was here on the podcast as well.
I'm waiting for so long. This.
Yes. But that was our only collaboration so far, not on the music side. But yeah, I would love to. Every year when he's making this beat contest, I send in a beat. But that's still not kind of a real collaboration. I would really enjoy to do like a real collaboration, where you send the track back and forth. Not just the collaboration with the name. That's not interesting.
Yeah, exactly. The communication is the most important part of creating a track together.
Yes. And also to have like this two signatures combined to something completely new. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Who do you want to collaborate with in future? Do you have like a
in the future
that you really want to?
I have one really like the sounds, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. It is like a lo-fi girl artist. He played the piano very well. Because all the sounds is just like a full composition of the, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. this one, but I think I'm really afraid to reach out to someone to ask for a collab.
Oh, just have to do it. It's really, I think it's super important to do collaborations, and I reach out to like hundreds of different artists, and I mean, yeah, half of them will say no, and the other half will not reply. No, that's a bad calculation. Like half of it
It
will
is
say
hurt.
no or will not reply, but the other half will say yes. And then it's fun to do that. I mean, collaborations are so much fun.
Yeah. But I mean, as for the big artists, will be most of the time they will reject you, so it make me feel hurt.
Yeah, I see that, but you have to. This is a good point to step out of the comfort zone. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, just don't take no so personally. You know, and sometimes it's just like not the right time, and then if you ask again half a year later, it will be the better time and it will work out. And also, especially being independent, let's say, um, as you want to make a whole living just through music, you really have to take a lot of no's and kind of search for them, because on every 10 no's you will get one yes, or on every 100 no's you will get one yes.
Yeah.
And this one yes will make it worth, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say you ask 20 artists that are in the range of having millions of monthly listeners, and one will say yes, then it's not that bad that the other 9 said no, because you still can go on a collaboration with a super big artist.
Yeah, you're right.
I would just don't take the no's personally, because it's never personal, you know. If an artist don't have time or is like packed with other projects, it's never personal. It's they don't say no because they don't like you. They just say no because the timing is wrong, or they haven't seen the message or whatever. But I would just like try and ask so as much as you can.
Yeah, I will do that. I will try to do it.
Yeah, and I can just tell you from my own experience, I got on, let's say, not like huge gaps of bigger artists, but like artists that have like 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more listeners than me. And especially in our lo-fi community, the people are so friendly. And before I asked all of them, I could not imagine to get really so many yes for collaborations at the moment. And yeah, a lot said yes, way more than like 1 of 10. It was like more like 1 of 4 said yes and 3 said no. The ratio was not that hard to take.
Oh, good to hear.
Yeah. I mean, this is really not a very competitive community, as far as I have seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not in this super competitive community. It's not like, like with hip hop, when you ask a bigger artist, hey, can we do a collaboration? Oh, sure, yeah, just PayPal me like 200,000 and I sing you a verse.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's also not the secret. That's how it's done. Because I heard from a lot of like German rap artists that make collaborations with like Snoop Dogg and other like big American artists. And yeah, if you pay them, they will say yes.
Yeah.
But that's a completely different world. And in lo-fi, it's not as that at all.
Yeah, exactly. I love this communication. No, I love this community.
Yeah, the community is amazing.
Yeah, when I get started, I met so many people from the community, so many people to encourage me because when I get started, I only create like 2 to 3 tracks and then I start releasing. So I have so many um um not confidence of my music at the beginning, but a lot of people is so friendly to encourage me to make me feel more confidence to keep making and releasing music.
Yes, yes, this community is amazing for this. And I really love this community as well. It's so good.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I came from a completely different community and it was like day and night, the difference is so crazy. I came from the techno scene.
Techno.
Yeah, and I used to play shows as a DJ, organizing parties and everything. And even there, it started like if you're playing as a DJ, it's super competitive because everybody wants to be like the DJ with the most bookings, and everybody's like how do you say, gatekeeping the contacts to this party organizations and this and that. It's not that collaborative. Also, then I started doing my own events, and then I could feel that competitive feeling with like other event organizers. And then people came to me, like, from my circle of real life friends, of my like friends from around the area, like, oh yeah, is that true what they tell about you? I'm like, hell nah. What are they telling about me? And then all these crazy stories came up about, like fake stories, just like to talk bad about someone to get their
job.
space. Because I had like really not bad working parties, and we sell tickets and had like guests and everything, cool DJs and stuff. And then other got jealous, other organizers, and start telling some bullshit behind your back and everything. And then I totally broke up with that scene, changed to lo-fi, and it was like, oh, so lovely people. It was just the pure opposite. It was like everybody's friendly, everybody is really want to help you, encouraging you, and that's such a big and radical difference between.
Yeah. I think it is lo-fi don't have so many competitive, so maybe like this, so we are willing to help each other.
Yeah, that's so true. Also, yeah, on so many different aspects, I saw that like on nearly every aspect, the lo-fi community is way more open to help you, and that's why I said just ask everyone you want to collab with. Just ask everyone.
Yeah, I will try.
And a bunch of people will say yes, for sure. And I heard some of your songs, like since I discovered you on YouTube, and they're super good. I mean, the quality of your production speaks for itself. And if you ask someone and they check out your music and hear, oh, that's super cool, yeah, sure, I want to collab with you. I think you're on a level where the production that you do is so good that it doesn't
Really
matter
appreciate.
that it doesn't really matter anymore if someone got like a huge amount of more listeners than you do. Because also on the other side, you're doing content and the content looks super clean. TikToks and Instagram Reels looking so good. I mean, also this is very appealing. Let's say if you ask someone for a collaboration who doesn't have like this big of an online presence, who is not doing that content, only this part can also lead to, oh yeah, that's super cool. And even if I bring more listeners, you bring the skills that I don't have. And that's a cool thing. And then both can grow, And it's
Oh,
always about
I
helping
never
each
thought
other.
this.
Yeah, no, but
Hmm.
it's in collaboration, it's always about helping each other. I mean, on a pure musical level, it's like, oh, now from my example, I cannot do good melodies at all, but I can do sound designs and mixing and mastering. And a lot of people that I know can do great melodies. They can just sit down, play something on the piano, it sounds fantastic, but they struggle with mixing or mastering or arrangement stuff. And then we can both help each other out. The collaborator can do what he's doing the best and what is fun to make, and you do what is fun to make to you. Because it's, you can never say when it comes to creation, or let's say also when it comes to releasing and promoting your music, you will never like all of it. There's always like something that you don't enjoy doing. And I guess the important thing is to focus on what is the skill that you enjoy doing the most. Is it, let's say, is it writing melodies? And I mean, you can write melodies, and that's a super appealing skill that a lot of beat makers, because it's still lo-fi beats, is not a skill that a lot of beat makers have. And everyone who is like good at making beats, with the drum machine, making some drums, with arranging everything and stuff, but is totally sucks at melodies, will love to collaborate with you, because you can do something great.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about the other stuff, I don't know, maybe you don't like doing drums, and then you have someone doing the drums for you. And then both are happy and both can grow. That's, in the end of the day, everything that matters.
I indeed don't like make drums.
See? We should collaborate on the song. I love doing drums.
Really?
I love doing drums. I love doing
more chill drums or sleepy.
It depends on the track.
Oh.
Because for me, when it comes to creating music, I'm super melody based, even though I cannot write melodies. But one album that I released last year, I put an ad on Instagram asking for, hey, I'm looking for people who can play instruments. Can you play the guitar or piano? I want to make an album and I need your help. And I got like hundreds of messages through the ad. And then I got like Sam standed in, like, someone just recorded some guitar playing, and then I made the drums fitting to the style of the melody. So some songs are a bit more upfront, like a bit more active, and some melodies were like kind of sleepy, and then the drums are also more chill. And I know in the classic music production, it's like the opposite way. Because let's say if you're having a music band, you have the drummer who gives the rhythm, and all the other instruments go with this rhythm that the drums play. But I love to do it the opposite way.
Yeah, me too. I love making the piano part, and after that is the drums.
Yes,
I
exactly.
love to find the overall vibe, and then try to fit the drums into it.
Yeah, and I think in a music without vocals, the melody is the element that is telling the story. It tells in which direction the emotion goes of the track, right? And then this is, for me personally, always the main part, to have a story that is told by the instruments. And I would say, like in lo-fi hip-hop, the drums can be hard sometimes when it's fitting, but it's more percussive nature because it just kind of add to the melody and help the melody tell the story.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes my drums will be super simple. I just want to focusing on the melody side.
Yeah, and with chill beats, they have to be simple as well. They cannot be too complex. I mean, if the drums are too complex, it's no more chill music. No,
Yeah.
it can be complex in the details. Like taking some Foley sounds and place them on the right spot with the right delay or something. Then it's more like tactical placed.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, I like to compare it with like rock music, and the drums play a way more important role, even though because then you have the bass, the guitar, and the drums are the three main elements, and they're usually more forward, and they have to really, kind of all have to kind of take the rope and put it in the front direction.
Yeah. Because the melody stuff is not that much in that type of music.
No,
right?
no.
Yeah.
It's really relaxing. But I love to the memes by scrolling through your snare folder and looking half an hour for the perfect snare. I kind of enjoy that process, I don't know if many people are enjoying doing that, but for me, it's like...
I'm not enjoying. I love to scroll with the preset, so instrument preset, but I don't like to scroll with the drum sounds.
I really enjoyed it. It's kind of going on a shopping trip, It's like online shopping, going through the whole catalog and check out everything.
But mostly the sounds is also the same. Right?
Yeah.
So similar.
Yeah. How I like to do that is dig in different genres. I made a beat that was interesting. I found this country drum sample pack. And it was like very natural recordings of a real drum, but like in this country genre. And by adding the right EQ and compressing it the right way, it was compatible with lo-fi, but it got this other different sound, It got this other sound design from the basic recording that really resonated well, but it was something new, and it was something that is
unique.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're let's say you open Splice and you put in lo-fi kick, all sounds kind of the same, more or less.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I really love to like dig into different genres, like jazz, blues, even jazz drums are very well known in the lo-fi beat production. I really love to kind of dig deep into samples that are not so obvious. Not all the time, because it is a lot of time consuming. Sometimes you just want to make a track and finish the track. But there are like projects where I think, okay, no, this one needs something special. And then you have to really put in hours searching for the right snare.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, I love video games, and then sometimes you need this one perfect equipment to get through the game, and then you go searching for it. It feels the same, for me it feels the same.
Take 1 hour to searching only just a little things.
Yeah, but if you have a great track at the end of the day, it was totally worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also something that I kind of want to lay more focus this year, not to rush so much through the production. With the weekly releases, and it's kind of the thing in our community, to release weekly. It kind of became the standard, but I kind of set that as a goal to have like my weekly Friday release, but still I try to not stress about that. It's not like, oh, I should have finished this track by tomorrow, so it's in the perfect time in the DPS. Yeah, that's I kind of. It's like a small.
I got
path,
you what you mean. Just like you are just want to finish it. It's not like you are enjoying to create it.
Yes, and I want to step away from that. I really want to put more time and effort into a track, and maybe if time is running, then maybe skip a Friday and then release it a week later, and don't be mad about this. But then just really take the time to make the track sound as you want.
Yeah.
Also, ignore more feedback. Because sometimes, you send the track to your friends and like, oh yeah, I would do this and I would do that. And then just ask yourself, are you enjoying the track that you made? And if the answer is yes, and then ask yourself, do you really think you have to change it? And if the answer is no, then don't change it. But it's not about ignoring all the feedback. Sometimes feedback is great, but sometimes if you think, nah, I would rather keep it as it is because I really like this version and I really like how it is, then just go with it.
The feedback sometimes will make you more overthinking.
Exactly this.
So sometimes you just need to trust what you think it is done. So I just share some experience in one of my videos. Like now I will mix and mastering. After that, I will immediately send it to the label, because when I listen back it again, almost all the time I want to twist it. So, but when you after twist it like 10 times, but it doesn't mean the song is perfect for everyone. So right now I would just send it immediately. So to stop me to overthinking and keep mixing.
Yeah, and sometimes it just gets worse and worse by changing it that much. It's like when you're cooking a soup and then you try it and then you think it needs more salt, and then you keep it cook for a while, then you try again. It needs more salt, and at some point it's just too much salt, and then
exactly.
then it's bad.
The original one is better than you twist it like 10 times later.
That was the same. I remember back in the school days, I at some point realized that kind of this effect, because probably from the school time when you had like multiple choice tests, just to put your X, what you think the correct
A, B, C, D.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, when you change the answer afterwards, and then you get the results back, and then you see, my first guess was right.
Exactly.
And after overthinking, the second guess was wrong. I realized that back in days in school, because then I ended up always being like half of the time ahead. After realizing that, like all the, how do you say, tests? Is it tests? Exams. Yeah, all the exams. At a certain point in the apprenticeship, I first had like bad grades. Then I realized that the first intuitional thought is nearly always correct. I always end up, you have like 60 minutes for the exam, and I was done by 20 minutes. Then I gave the exam to the teacher and went outside enjoying the sun or do something. And then my grades were like way better for the rest of the 3 years in the apprenticeship. And I had so much time. Every exam I know, okay, cool, we have 60 minutes time. That means I have a 40 minutes break to do whatever I want outside.
Yeah. So sometimes you would make yourself overthinking and twist it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the same was always after the exam when you like ask your class buddies, like, what did you have at this question? Every time this conversation went on, I just removed myself from the conversation, did something else. It took away so much pressure, took away stress. And it's kind of the same lesson when it comes to the making music and overthinking. It's actually the same lesson. But
at that moment, you will feel like every answer you put inside is wrong.
Yes, and then you are stressed for like 2 weeks till you get the results back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think with mixing, that's the same thing. That's
and
why we had a conversation with do not overthink your mix.
Oh yeah, because it is I just facing for a long time, but every time I'm going to remix it, I will feel like the first one is the best. Is the best one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this story. I don't know if I already talked about that on the podcast, but there was this one song of Michael Jackson. I'm not sure if it was Billie Jean or Thriller or just like one super famous song by Michael Jackson. And they spent the whole night like making the mix number 60, the mix number 70. And then another person came in from outside and he's like, why are you still here? Why are you still up like 12 hours in the studio? And they showed him the mix number 71 or whatever. And he's like, this sounds like trash. Show me your first mix. And then they released the second mix. Like this mix number 2. After changing it up 71 times.
Because sometimes when you re-listen to it, your ears is already can't hear anything and very tired, yeah.
Yeah, and also when I start switching in the production is producing more like in the early afternoon or in the morning when possible. You know, with the day job, I can only produce mornings on the weekends, but all the songs produced like in the morning or in the early afternoon are way better than the one making like late night when you're tired and you should actually go to bed.
Yeah. I'm also a morning person. I love to create in the morning.
Yeah, because you are awake, you are focused, you can wake up, drink a coffee and then start doing. Amazing. Yeah, that I would say of here already nearly 1 hour. 1 hour and 45 minutes into this. This is crazy. I would say let's end this podcast for this session. But as every guest that I already had, you are more than welcome to join in for a second time.
Yeah, for sure. I love checking with you.
Because I love to do like this comeback talks, because now we talked about different things and maybe in 1 or 2 months we get like some learnings from that and then we can like talk about this again. So I would really love to do that. But
for sure.
Before we end this, I have this this last question that I ask every guest on the podcast, and this is if you can give like something positive, a life advice, or share something that inspirational or important with the listeners. Would you, like a life lesson that you learned? Do you have something like that to share?
Yeah. I will be more focusing on like the health problem because this is what I come through. I want to give more positive message to all of this type of people or ever you're facing any struggle and health problem, I think you just need to give more positive yourself, because you are the only one that can fight this health problem. And try to find something that you really like to do and focusing on what really like to do. And after that, you will feel like your body and your health will become better and better, because you are doing what you actually like. This is what I really want to share this message to all of the audience.
That's a fantastic message, and I can really 200% agree on that, because yeah, it's always your how you think is how you live. You know, is the thoughts that you feed yourself every day will reflect in your life. If you wake up with positive thoughts, then your day will be positive. If you wake up with negative thoughts, the day will be more likely to be negative. And it's so important. And that's an amazing thing
Thank you.
that you shared. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for this conversation, and also thanks for sharing this whole personal information about you. I mean, that's not easy, I guess. You know, talk about so personal stuff, and I really appreciate that, and I hope the listeners will appreciate that too. And yeah, to the listeners, go to Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you listen. Check out Tyler.l. It's Tyler.l. And he's doing amazing music. It's worth a listen.
Thank you so much for reaching me out for this podcast. And also, this is my first try on the podcast type of video and talk.
Hey, you did great. You did great. For
Thank
real.
you so much.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Me too.
For the listeners, tune in next week again. And for everyone, a great week.